Yesterday, the raid of Jacques Pauw's home in the Western Cape has opened up an old concern regarding the role of the authorities in dealing with whistleblowers. One of South Africa's investigative journalists, Sam Soul, spoke at the 6th Annual Public Sector Forum hosted by the Institute of Internal Auditors of South Africa. He revealed how amaBhungane secretly raised funds to ensure the safe relocation of their primary sources overseas. Sam Soul, managing partner for the amaBhungane Centre for Investigative Journalism, is here with us this morning. Sam, we really thank you for coming in and for your time.
It's a pleasure. I'm sorry that it's at a time when there's been a raid on an investigative journalist.
Which is worrying, and I imagine that worried you. I mean, when you got the news that this happened, what was your initial thought?
Well, a bit surprised, as I think Jacques Pauw also expressed that, he said he was expecting something like this just after the book was published. But not now, just after President Cyril Ramaphosa has been elected. And but I think it shows, the empire strikes back, and the empire is not dead. And the concerns that we have around the kind of the state security network that the former President Zuma built up, it's there, and there's serious concerns about what it does.
Yeah, I mean, we look at, obviously, have you chatted to Jacques at all?
No, I haven't.
Not. We spoke to him last night, and he was also quite shocked. He didn't see this coming, and I don't think there was anything too sort of valuable taken. I think they were just looking specifically for documents or anything that could assist them in their case. I suppose they have all the right to do that, or not. You tell me from your perspective.
That's part of the problem. He's being targeted because of reporting he did in his book on the State Security Agency. And anybody who's read The President's Keepers will be in no doubt that the information that he revealed about the State Security Agency was in the public interest. He reveals allegations of very serious abuses of power, abuses of resources at the State Security Agency. Yeah. And it's been a problem that we've been fighting in terms of security legislation, that there's not a public interest clause protecting journalists and other whistleblowers in terms of exposing secrets, or what the state might consider secrets in the public interest. Yeah. The Secrecy Bill, the Secrecy Act that was passed. We had a long fight as R2K and amaBhungane to get such a protection for whistleblowers and journalists acting in the public interest. That was rejected. That law has never been signed into law because we think it's still unconstitutional. And one of the reasons it's unconstitutional is that there is not that safeguard for whistleblowers and journalists.
A question to you. I mean, amaBhungane has done some of the most incredible work when it comes to investigative journalism. I mean, you guys were privy to these Gupta leaks, and you were bringing out articles left, right and centre. My question to you have you ever been approached by any law enforcement agency wanting these documents, the Hawks, the NPA, anybody? Have they come to you?
No. In terms of the Gupta leaks, we've never been approached. We would not provide the data that we have, but there are other institutions that have access to the Gupta leaks. I'm pretty sure that the law enforcement authorities also have access by now. I think the whistleblowers that you mentioned, and I must say that it was also Daily Maverick who were the prime movers in that process. The whistleblowers did indicate that if there was a credible process, then they might consider, in a sense, coming out and revealing themselves and obviously certifying the accuracy of the of the evidence. But that's a decision they must take. That's not a decision we can take for them.
I mean, something quite concerning is what I mentioned in the introduction, that you yourselves have to actually ensure the safety of your whistleblowers by finding them, somewhere overseas that they can actually go in order to be protected. Do we not have any legislative framework to protect whistleblowers?
Look, we have a whistleblowing act, but it's very weak. It's actually in the process of being redrafted to provide some greater protection. But in the end, and I think it's globally a phenomenon. Whistleblowers get punished, and I hope that what the whole state capture experiences has taught us now is the value of whistleblowing as a corrective measure. If one thinks of the trillion whistleblowers, etc., and that people start to have respect for people who blow the whistle in the public interest and beef up the protections that those people enjoy.
Yeah. Just finally, I mean, we haven't spoken about it, but we certainly read about it on Twitter, and we've been seeing sort of news articles this morning talking about the fact that Peter Louis Myburgh, another investigative journalist who also wrote a book and had quite a lot of exposés in there about the Guptas, saying that his house was broken into at around the same time that the raid was taking place on Pauw's house. Now, we can't obviously link the two. I mean, we can't do that, but it is a little coincidental, isn't it?
It is concerning, and he possibly more than anyone else besides Jacques had focused on the State Security Agency. He broke the story about the setting up of a fake union at Marikana that was funded by the State Security Agency. So, you know, there's obviously no proof, but we have had examples of other break-ins at judges, at the Constitutional Court, etc. And it is concerning that, you know, perhaps the real rogue unit is within the state. Yeah,
which is a big worry, because you talk about, you know, Myburgh's laptop was stolen. That's what I'm reading here. And also, according to General Zwelinzima Vavi, also saying, the Secretary General, Patrick Craven's laptop was also stolen, saying that they pretended to be from SARS and knew that SARS owns him some money, so they pretended to be doing a lifestyle audit. So, yeah, it's very concerning what's happening at the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Sam, thank you very much for talking to us. Great. Sam Soul, amaBhungane, and also talking to us about investigative journalists and the protection thereof. Let us take a break here on the program. We'll return with some news headlines, and then we'll bring you some sports news. Do stay tuned.